Welcome everyone to today's workout. My name is Jazzy. I'm a health fitness specialist here at Exos San Rafael location, and today's workout is going to be an AMRAP. So we're gonna go ahead and do each movement for each circuit we're going to do for 7 minutes. We're going to do 2 different circuits. So I'll explain the first one and then we'll get warmed up, and then before the second one starts I'll explain all of that. So our first one is going to be more of a lower body focus. So we're going to start off all of our exercises. We're doing 5 reps of everything. So the first exercise, we're going to do a forward lunge into a reverse lunge. So you're going to start off, we're going to go forward and back is 1. So we're going to do 5 on this side, forward, back, and then 5 on the other side, forward and back, just like that. And then our next exercise is going to be, we're going to be doing a lateral squat with a front raise hold. So we're going to be here, nice and wide, arms straight out, lean forward one side, stand back up, lean to the other side, and back up. So we're going to do, again, 5 on each side. And then the next thing we're going to do are overhead squats, hands straight up, and we're just going to be squatting just like that. So the hands up will just kind of make sure we're engaging our core a little bit more. And then our next movement will be a curtsy lunge. So we're going to do 5 curtsy lunges on each side. So standing here, stepping behind, diagonal, squatting down, and then behind, diagonal, and back up. So alternating 5 on each side. And then our last movement is going to be 5 glute bridge marches on each side. So laying on your back, holding that glute bridge nice and tight in the core, lifting each leg up, alternating. Okay, so you want to make sure your core is nice and tight, your back is flat, and your glutes are engaged. So those are going to be all of our exercises. We're going to repeat those all the way through for the full 7 minutes, 5 reps of everything. The goal is to be able to complete as many rounds as you can. So I know my goal is to get 3 to 4 rounds in the 7 minutes. So go ahead and set that goal for yourself for that whole time. Okay, so then for our quick warm up today, we're going to be doing a squat to stand. We're going to do 5 of them. So go ahead and get in a nice tall position. We're going to take our hands and we're going to grab our toes. And then we're going to squat while we hold our toes. So feeling that stretch through the hips. And then you're going to stand back up, feeling your hamstring stretch, and then fully stand back up. So we're going to do 5 of those. So that was 1. So grab the toes, squat down, stand, fully up. Make sure you're squeezing those glutes as you come up. Really feel that warming up your hamstrings and your glutes. Doing 5 of those. And then when we're done with those, we're going to do a quick upper body warm up because our second circuit is going to be more upper body focused. So we're going to go ahead and get into a nice plank position, holding that nice and tight with the core. And we're going to go ahead and push up into a down dog or a pike position and then come back to a plank. So warming those shoulders up, warming that core up, even getting a nice stretch through the glutes and hamstrings. We're going to do 5 of those. Really keeping that core tight, pushing up with your shoulders. Really feel that stretch in the top. And when we've done 5, we're going to go ahead and get started. So if you need to stretch out anything else before we get started, feel free to do so. Does anyone have any questions about our movements that we're doing? Nope. Okay, cool. So we're going to go ahead and get started, you guys. We're starting with our 5 forward to reverse lunges, and I'll remind you of what's coming up next as we move through the 7 minutes, okay? So we're going to go ahead and start the timer. We've got 7 minutes. 3, 2, 1, and go. So we're starting off reverse lunge and forward lunges. 5 on each leg. Really make sure you're pushing through your whole foot. Squeeze those glutes as you come up and keep that core nice and tight to help with balance. Doing 5 on each side. Great job, you guys. And then after we're done with the lunges, we're going to go into the side squats with that forward hold. So we've done 5 of those, arms straight out in front, squatting to each side. So 10 total, 5 on each side. And then when we're done with that, going into our overhead squats. So arms are going to be straight up in those squats. Nice and deep. Make sure squeezing those glutes with every movement that we're doing. Core nice and tight. And then after our overhead squats, we're going to do those curtsy lunges. So stepping behind and back, 5 on each side. To make it a little harder, you need to keep nice and low. We'll activate those glutes a little more, keep more tension, make it a little bit harder. Doing 5 on each side. Great job, you guys. And then lastly, when we're done with our curtsy lunges, doing those glute bridge marches. Make sure you squeeze those glutes, holding the core nice and tight, lifting each knee up, alternating. When we're done with these, guys, we're starting right back in the top with those lunges. Again, 5 of everything. The goal is to get as many rounds as we can in these 7 minutes. Going straight into the next exercise. We'll take a quick rest when we're done. Really making sure we're planting our whole foot in the ground, pushing off each way. You're going to work both your legs. Whoops. Try and keep your balance. So we need that core nice and tight. When we're done with those reverse lunges, we're going into those side squats with our arms out in front. So make sure on those side squats we're nice and wide. Keeping that weight back, sinking into those hips, just like a squat. Good job, you guys. After those side squats, going into the overhead squats. Getting lots of leg work in right now, you guys. Great job. Make sure keeping those whole foot on the ground. Squeeze the glutes all the way up. Keeping that core nice and tight. Will help keep your back flat. And then after those overhead squats, going into the curtsy lunges. Alternating 5 each side. And when we're done with the curtsy lunges, going straight into the glute bridge marches. Make sure keeping those glutes engaged. When we're done with the glute bridge marches, going right back into those lunges. Great job, you guys. You're doing awesome. Going into the lunges when we're done with the marches. We're more than halfway done, you guys. We've got 2 full circuits down. Like I said, the goal was 3, if not 4. So I'm gonna keep pushing through. Again, make sure you're pushing off with that whole foot. We don't want to be in our toes. We want to be in that whole foot. Squeezing those glutes. When we're done with our lunges, going into those side squats. Make sure we're nice and wide. Arms straight out in front. If you want to make it harder, you can feel free to pick a weight up. Make sure, again, using that whole foot in the ground. When we're done with our side squats, go into the overhead squats. Great job, you guys. Really push off the ground. And when we're done with our squats, doing our curtsy lunges, each side, doing 5. Make it a little harder by staying nice and low while you're transitioning. Make sure keeping those hips facing forward the whole time. Engages that core a little bit more. And going into those glute bridge marches when we're done, you guys. Really pushing through the ground. Keep those glutes squeezed. Core engaged. And going right into those reverse lunges, you guys. 5 each side. We're almost there. We got 30 seconds. Pushing through those last final seconds, you guys. Try and get as far through as you can. Going into our side lunges or side squats. When we're done, we're almost there. Oh, time is up, you guys. Great job. My legs are on fire. That was awesome. Okay, so our next one, we're gonna do same layout, 5 reps of everything, but we're gonna be on our hands with the plank position the whole time, okay? So we're gonna start off with 5 plank to pike. So plank, pike, plank, pike, doing 5 of those. And then we're gonna go straight into 5 shoulder taps each side. And then, oh, if you can't see, shoulder taps like this. And then we're gonna do leg lifts. So staying in that plank position, 5 each side. And then last 2, we're gonna do plank, knee, same elbow, 5 each side. And then opposite elbow, 5 each side. And rotating through for the 7 minutes. So first we got our legs on fire. Now our shoulders are gonna be on fire. Who's ready? I'm ready. I'm SpongeBob now. I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay. So now getting ready for our plank to pike. And I'm gonna start the timer. We've got 7 minutes, okay? 3, 2, 1, and go. Doing our 5 plank to pikes, you guys. Make sure you're pushing up through those shoulders. Want to feel the core and want to feel it in your shoulders. And going straight into plank shoulder taps, you guys. Each side, 5 each side. Make sure we're keeping the butt down. And we're doing plank leg lifts. Again, 5 each side. And we're done. Great job. And then we're doing our knee to elbow after this. Squeeze and lift, squeeze and lift. So plank, knee, same side elbow, 5 each side. And then we'll do opposite elbow. Whew, my shoulders are on fire. Again, keeping the butt down, core nice and tight. And when we're done, starting out at the top, plank to pike, doing 5. 5 plank to pike. We're just gonna keep repeating that. If you need to take a few seconds between each one, that's totally fine. Doing shoulder taps when we're done. Again, keeping core nice and tight. You want your hands directly below the shoulders, okay? So 5 shoulder taps each side, and then we'll do our 5 leg lifts. Try and keep those hips pointed down. You want to pretend like you have headlights on your hips. You want your headlights pointing straight at the mat or the ground the whole time. We don't want to be rocking back and forth. So we're doing leg lifts after our taps, and then we're doing knees to same side elbow, and then knees to opposite elbow. Again, if you need to give yourself 1 to 2 seconds in between each one, feel free to do so, but try not to hang out on your knees too long. Want to keep going. We're working the shoulders, working the core. Awesome job, you guys. So we're doing knee, same side elbow, and then opposite, and then we're starting back up with our plank to pike. Great job, you guys. Starting at the top, plank to pike. When we're done with those, we're about halfway there, you guys. Great job. 5 plank to pike, and then 5 shoulder taps. Keeping our core nice and tight. We want to make sure when we're coming back into that plank, we're not dipping too far down. We don't want to be doing down dog, or sorry, up dog. Wrong one. All right, 5 taps each side, and then 5 leg lifts. Again, making sure we want our hips to be pointed down. Like we have headlights on our hips. We're blind in the ground. And then when we're done with that, going to go ahead and do our knee, same side elbow, and then knee, opposite elbow, 5 each side. Again, keeping our back nice and flat, hands directly below the shoulders, and we want to make sure we're not caving in with the back. Keep everything nice and flat. You guys are doing awesome. When we're done doing our knee to elbows, going to be doing 5 plank to pike. Goal is to get through this 1 to 2 more times, you guys. We got about 2 minutes left. So we're doing our 5 plank to pike, and then our 5 shoulder taps. And then our 5 leg lifts. Great job, you guys. I know this burns, but you guys are pushing through. You're doing awesome. And we're doing our knees to our elbows. We're going to do 5 same side, 5 opposite side. And then we'll go right back into our plank to pikes. But we're almost there, you guys. Doing awesome. Oh, wrong one. Same. All right, you guys, let's see how far we can get through this last round. Starting with 5 plank to pike. We got less than a minute. And then we'll go into our cool down. So we're doing 5 plank to pike. Got 5 shoulder taps right after, and then we'll do our leg lifts. Great job, you guys. Keep pushing, keep pushing. And then we got elbow taps, same side, 5 each side. And we are done. Whew. Awesome job, you guys. Way to go. I know that was very shoulder heavy. We can, still find ways to challenge ourselves without any weights. So that was my goal for today for you guys.
That was awesome, Kelsey. Thank you.
Oh, of course, Joan. Me too. My face is very sweaty right now. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and do a quick.
I'm dead.
Great job, Chet.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and do a quick cool down, you guys. So we're gonna be in all fours. And we're gonna go ahead and our all fours, you're gonna stick one leg out to the side. You want your foot flat on the ground. And we're gonna rock back and back up. So when you rock back, you should feel that opening up your inner thigh, opening those hips up. We're gonna do 5. Really feel it opening up those hips, you guys. Squeeze the glutes to come back to center. And then when we're done with the 5, going on to the other leg. So sticking our leg out, foot flat on the ground, rock back, squeeze, come back up. Want to make sure we're keeping our core tight still in this. Doing 5. And then when we're done with those, we're going to go ahead and do a different exercise. So we're going to be in a shin box. So your front leg is going to be directly in front of you and out to the side. Your back leg is going to stick out and back. So we're at 90 degrees. We're going to take your left hand in this case. If your left leg is out in front, you're going to set your left hand down. You're going to take your right hand. You're going to reach through and sit back up. So you're just reaching, feeling that opening up your back. We're going to do 3 each side. And then we're going to go ahead and switch over to the other side. So now if your left leg was in front, your right leg is now in front. And then your right arm is straight off to the side. You're going to take your left arm, rotate back, reach as far as you can, come back up. Doing 3 on this side as well. And that will conclude today's exercise with Exos. Don't forget, if you are participating in our bingo, this does count, so you can go ahead and check that off. You have, I think today is really the last day that we can add to those bingo boxes. So feel free to check that off. And then we are doing our stretch break later on today at 2:30 with Luis. He will be leading that. So we hope to see you all there. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Jazzy.
Thank you.
Job.
Thank you.